हमारी आज की वीडियो उन सभी एस्पिरेंट्स के लिए खास है जो NISM 5A म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर एग्जाम की तैयारी कर रहे हैं। हमारी NISM 5A सीरीज पर आए शानदार रिस्पांस को देखते हुए आज हम एक और न्यू मॉक टेस्ट सीरीज की शुरुआत करने जा रहे हैं। इस न्यू सीरीज की पहली वीडियो में हमने ZFunds के पास्ट 6000 से ज्यादा कैंडिडेट्स के सक्सेस के आधार पर फ्रेश 50 सेट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस को इंक्लूड किया है। इस वीडियो के जरिए आप ना केवल रिवीजन कर पाएंगे बल्कि अपनी तैयारी को नेक्स्ट लेवल तक लेकर जा सकेंगे। क्या खास मिलेगा आपको? 50 से ज्यादा लेटेस्ट अपडेटेड क्वेश्चंस एंड आंसर्स जो करेंगे आपका कॉन्फिडेंस बूस्ट, जो हैं प्रूवन सक्सेस गारंटर्स। इसके अलावा आपको मिलेगा फ्री मॉक टेस्ट का लिंक इस वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन में। ZFunds का मिशन है हर भारतीय के लिए निवेश को सही और आसान बनाना। हम नए डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स को फ्री मॉक टेस्ट के जरिए बिना किसी फाइनेंशियल बर्डन के उनके करियर की शुरुआत में मदद करना चाहते हैं। हमारा मिशन है कि एक ऐसे नेटवर्क का निर्माण किया जाए जिसमें प्रोफेशनल म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स भारत में कम से कम 1 करोड़ परिवारों के लिए निवेश सरल बना सके। नमस्कार, मैं हूं मनीष तनेजा और आप देख रहे हैं ZFunds शाला। आइए मॉक टेस्ट शुरू करते हैं। पहला क्वेश्चन है, हाउ आर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स मेनली कॉम्पनसेटेड बाय म्यूचुअल फंड्स? ऑप्शंस हैं कमीशंस, सैलरीज, पोर्टफोलियो प्रॉफिट्स, एनुअल फीस। सही आंसर है कमीशंस। Distributors receive commissions based on the amount of funds they have mobilized. अगला क्वेश्चन है, who issues certificate of deposit? ऑप्शंस हैं गवर्नमेंट, मल्टीनेशनल्स, बैंक्स, म्यूचुअल फंड्स। करेक्ट आंसर है बैंक्स। Banks issue certificates of deposits for terms ranging from 7 days to 1 year, while financial institutions issue them for 1 to 3 years. अगला क्वेश्चन है, which document can a unit holder inspect? Options हैं trust deed, custodial services agreement, investment management agreement. All the above. Correct answer है all the above. Unit holders have the right to inspect important documents including the trust deed, investment management agreement, custodial services agreement, RT agreement, and memorandum of article of association of the AMC. The question है, which tax is payable on the redemption of units of an equity oriented fund? Options हैं dividend distribution tax, securities transaction tax, wealth tax, alternate dividend tax. आंसर है securities transaction tax. Securities transaction tax यानी STT is applicable on the sale of units in an equity oriented mutual fund. अगला क्वेश्चन है, व्हाट इज द टैक्स एप्लीकेबल ऑन द AMC फॉर द इनकम अर्न्ड बाय म्यूचुअल फंड स्कीम? ऑप्शंस हैं इनकम अर्न्ड बाय म्यूचुअल फंड इज exempt फ्रॉम टैक्सेस, 10% surcharge and cess, it depends on the investor's tax rates, it depends on the type of income. करेक्ट आंसर है income earned by a mutual fund is exempt from taxes. Mutual funds are exempt from income tax as they are structured as trusts for the benefit of unit holders. However, income earned by investors, that is unit holders, is taxable. अगला क्वेश्चन है, what does the goal-based approach to financial planning focus on? Options हैं to generate a limited amount of money, an investment plan focused on a specific goal, an investment plan with a specific risk profile, a specific investment option. Correct answer है an investment plan focused on a specific goal. This approach involves creating a financial plan for a specific goal, such as savings for a child's higher education. An alternative approach is a comprehensive financial plan that considers all financial goals. अगला क्वेश्चन है, what is the first step in developing a model portfolio? Options हैं deciding the size of the portfolio, selection of mutual fund schemes, setting of goals, or none of the above. Correct answer है setting of goals. The first step is identifying the investor's investment needs and goals. Other steps include understanding financial products, asset allocation, and selecting mutual fund schemes. अगला क्वेश्चन है, which fund type's investment objective is to achieve growth through equity, balanced with income generation through debt, and balanced with income generation through debt. Options हैं arbitrage fund, money market fund, equity fund, और balanced fund. Correct answer है balanced fund. A balanced fund invests in both equity for growth and debt for income generation, aligning with the stated objective. अगला क्वेश्चन है, when a mutual fund makes profits or losses, who owns them? Options हैं the AMC, the trustees, the fund manager, the investor. Correct answer है the investor. Profits and losses from mutual fund investments belong to the investors. अगला क्वेश्चन है, Mr. X invests in a liquid fund at 4 PM. When will the applicable NAV for unit allotment be? ऑप्शंस हैं क्लोजिंग एनएवी ऑफ द डे प्रिसीडिंग द डे फंड्स आर अवेलेबल, क्लोजिंग एनएवी ऑफ द डे फंड्स आर अवेलेबल, क्लोजिंग एनएवी ऑफ द डे इमीडिएटली प्रिसीडिंग द डेट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन और क्लोजिंग एनएवी ऑफ द डे ऑफ द डेट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन। करेक्ट आंसर है क्लोजिंग एनएवी ऑफ द डे प्रिसीडिंग द डे फंड्स आर अवेलेबल। फॉर लिक्विड फंड्स, इफ द एप्लीकेशन इज मेड आफ्टर द कट ऑफ टाइम, that is 1:30 p.m., the NAV of the previous business day is used for allotment. अगला क्वेश्चन है which of the following is included in the key information memorandum KIM? ऑप्शंस हैं name of the fund manager, trustee, etc. Performance of schemes, asset allocation plan, all of the above. Correct answer है all of the above. The KIM summarizes key details from the SID and SAI, such as the AMC, fund manager, trustees, scheme performance, risk profile, asset allocation, and other essential investment information. अगला क्वेश्चन है which document authorizes a company to invest in a specific mutual fund scheme? ऑप्शंस हैं memorandum of association, articles of association, shareholders resolution, specific board resolution. करेक्ट आंसर है स्पेसिफिक बोर्ड रेजोल्यूशन। अ कंपनी रिक्वायर्स अ बोर्ड रेजोल्यूशन टू ऑथराइज इट्स इन्वेस्टमेंट इन अ म्यूचुअल फंड एज इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन्वेस्टर्स इन्वेस्ट ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। अगला क्वेश्चन है व्हाट इज द मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट मेजर फॉर इवेल्युएटिंग हाउ क्लोजली एन इंडेक्स फंड ट्रैक्स इट्स बेंचमार्क? ऑप्शंस हैं टोटल एक्सपेंस रेशियो TER, असेट्स अंडर मैनेजमेंट AUM, ट्रैकिंग एरर और ट्रेनर रेशियो। करेक्ट आंसर इज ट्रैकिंग एरर। Tracking error measures how consistently an index fund tracks or outperforms its benchmark, indicating its accuracy in following the index. अगला क्वेश्चन है true or false. Stock exchanges providing mutual fund trading facilities must also guarantee settlements. Options हैं true या false. Correct answer is false. Stock exchanges facilitate order routing but do not provide settlement guarantees. The responsibility for settlement lies with the asset management company. अगला क्वेश्चन है by investing in mutual funds an investor uses the services of a options हैं professional actuary, professional insurance agent, professional investment manager और professional tax planner. करेक्ट आंसर है प्रोफेशनल इन्वेस्टमेंट मैनेजर। म्यूचुअल फंड्स आर मैनेज्ड बाय प्रोफेशनल इन्वेस्टमेंट मैनेजर्स हु मेक डिसीजंस अबाउट स्टॉक, डेट एंड अदर इन्वेस्टमेंट्स on behalf of the investors. अगला क्वेश्चन है the sponsor of a mutual fund must contribute a minimum of dash of the net worth of the AMC. ऑप्शंस हैं 25%, 40%, 50% या 66%. Correct answer is 40%. The sponsor who establishes the mutual fund must contribute at least 40% of the AMC's net worth. अगला क्वेश्चन है as per common disclosures, investments in mutual funds are subject to market risks and therefore options हैं will provide insurance, will not guarantee return or capital protection, will provide guarantee of returns or will guarantee capital protection in the long run. Correct answer is will not guarantee returns or capital protection. Mutual funds do not offer any guarantee of returns or capital protection as they are subject to market risks. अगला क्वेश्चन है true or false. Comprehensive financial planning requires more time commitment than goal-based financial planning. Options हैं true या false. Answer is true. Comprehensive financial planning involves capturing long-term financial goals, inflows and outflows, requiring more time and effort compared to goal-based planning. The question है the dividend declared on units under lien is paid to options हैं always to the lien holder, always to the unit holder, the lien holder or the unit holder as per the agreement. Unit holders lien do not receive any dividends. Correct answer is the lien holder or the unit holder as per the agreement. Dividends on units under lien are paid either to the lien holders or the unit holders depending on the terms of the agreement. अगला क्वेश्चन है a person seeking long term risk cover should opt for options हैं investment in gold, life insurance, equity mutual funds, bank deposits. Correct answer is life insurance. Life insurance is appropriate option for long term risk cover offering financial protection in case of untimely events. अगर वीडियो में आपको कोई बेनिफिट हो रहा है, क्वेश्चंस आपको अच्छे लग रहे हैं तो प्लीज़ वीडियो को लाइक करें, साथ ही वीडियो को अपने दोस्तों के साथ भी शेयर करें। की इन्फॉर्मेशन मेमोरेंडम KIM is a summary of options हैं only scheme information document, only statement of additional information, both SID and SAI, fund fact sheet. Correct answer है both SID and SAI. The key information memorandum is a summary of SID and SAI containing essential details about the mutual fund schemes to help investors decide on the suitability of the investment. अगला क्वेश्चन है, who specifies the heads of expenses that can be charged to a mutual fund scheme by the asset management company? Options हैं SEBI, AMFI, trustees, RBI. Correct answer is SEBI. SEBI regulations specify the operating expenses that can be charged to a mutual fund scheme, including investment management fees, sales and marketing fees, administrative expenses. These expenses are collectively known as total expense ratio. अगला क्वेश्चन है, where is the performance data for all the mutual fund schemes across mutual fund industry available? Options हैं the scheme information document, key information memorandum, AMFI website या the fund fact sheet. Correct answer है AMFI website. The AMFI website provides performance data for all mutual fund schemes, including detailed performance matrices for various time periods and fund categories. अगला क्वेश्चन है, which of the following is not included in the statement of additional information? Options हैं rights of unit holders, transmission procedure, SIP returns of the scheme, investment valuation norms. Correct answer is SIP returns of the scheme. The SAI contains statutory information like the rights of unit holders, investment norms, and the transmission process, but the SIP returns are not part of it. This data is available in the fund fact sheet. अगला क्वेश्चन है, a folio held by a dash cannot have a nominee. Options minor, trust, registered company, all of the above. Correct answer is all of the above. Only individual investors can make nominations. Trusts and registered companies cannot have nominees, and minors are not allowed to make a nomination. अगला क्वेश्चन है, identify the incorrect statement with respect to investments in real estate. Options हैं the minimum amount required ticket size for investing in real estate is high compared to other financial assets. The transaction costs are low for investments in real estate as compared to other financial assets. The real estate market is quite illiquid and the pricing is not transparent. चौथा ऑप्शन है all of the above are incorrect. Correct answer, the transaction costs are low for investments in real estate as compared to other financial assets. Transaction costs in real estate such as stamp duty and registration fees are high. Real estate is illiquid and lacks transparency in pricing, and there are various regulatory and litigation risks involved. अगला क्वेश्चन है, Securities Transaction Tax STT is applicable on redemption of both equity mutual funds and debt mutual funds. True or false? Correct answer is false. STT is not applicable on transactions involving debt securities or debt mutual fund schemes. It is only applicable to equity mutual fund transactions. अगला क्वेश्चन है, identify the true statements with respect to measuring returns for mutual fund schemes. Options हैं the returns published in a mutual fund advertisement should factor in the entry or exit load. Compounded annual growth rate CAGR is the accepted standard of showing returns for investments with a holding period of more than 1 year. Simple returns can be calculated by the formula sale price minus cost price divided by cost price into 100. Options हैं only 1 and 2 are true, only 2 and 3 are true, only 1 and 3 are true, all 1, 2 and 3 are true. Correct answer है only 2 and 3 are true. Returns published in mutual fund advertisements exclude entry or exit loads. CAGR is used for returns over 1 year, while simple returns are used for shorter periods. अगला क्वेश्चन है, आइडेंटिफाई द ट्रू स्टेटमेंट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू टाइम होराइजन फॉर फाइनेंशियल गोल्स. ऑप्शंस हैं लॉन्गर द होराइजन टू द गोल द एबिलिटी टू टेक रिस्क इज हायर, लॉन्गर द होराइजन टू द गोल द एबिलिटी टू टेक रिस्क इज लोअर, shorter the horizon to the goal the ability to take risk is higher, time horizon has no link to financial goals. Correct answer है longer the horizon to the goal the ability to take risk is higher. The longer the time horizon the more risk an investor can take, as there is more time to recover from market volatility. अगला क्वेश्चन है, which of these is an important factor while estimating the correct future value of financial goals? Options हैं inflation rate, risks which are unexpected, economic growth, returns and gains. Correct answer है inflation rate. Inflation is a critical factor when calculating the future value of financial goals, as it erodes the purchasing power of money over time. The formula used for future value includes inflation rate as a key variable. This version maintains simplicity and clarity, ensuring that the answers and explanations are easy to understand. अगला क्वेश्चन है, what happens in the process of indexation? Options हैं in indexation the impact of capital gains tax is reduced in case of both short term and long term capital gains. In indexation, the mutual fund's performance is benchmarked against a suitable index. In indexation, the cost of acquisition is adjusted upwards to reflect the impact of inflation. और चौथा ऑप्शन है none of the above. Correct answer is in indexation, the cost of acquisition is adjusted upwards to reflect the impact of inflation. Indexation adjusts the cost of acquisition of an asset for inflation, reducing the capital gains tax liability by reducing the taxable gain. This is based on data from the Central Board of Direct Taxes. अगला क्वेश्चन है डैश is not accepted as a photo identity document for micro SIP. Options हैं डेबिट कार्ड with a photo, permanent retirement account number card issued to national pension systems, employee ID cards issued by companies registered with registrar of companies, credit card. Correct answer है credit card. A credit card is not accepted as a valid photo ID for micro SIP because it may not be backed by a bank account, unlike other listed documents. अगला क्वेश्चन है आइडेंटिफाई द ट्रू स्टेटमेंट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू जेनसेन्स अल्फा फॉर अ म्यूचुअल फंड स्कीम. ऑप्शंस हैं इट इज अ मेजर ऑफ आउट परफॉर्मेंस आफ्टर एडजस्टिंग फॉर रिस्क टेकन. It is a measure of risk and outperformance is related to returns. It is a measure of simple outperformance irrespective of the risk taken. चौथा ऑप्शन है none of the above. Correct answer is it is a measure of outperformance after adjusting for the risk taken. Jensen's alpha is a risk adjusted measure of a portfolio's performance. It shows the return of the portfolio beyond the expected return as per the capital asset pricing model, accounting for the risk taken. अगला क्वेश्चन है सेल ऑफ यूनिट्स ऑफ इक्विटी ओरिएंटेड म्यूचुअल फंड्स डिलीवरी बेस्ड विल अट्रैक्ट सिक्योरिटीज ट्रांजैक्शन टैक्स एट व्हाट परसेंटेज. ऑप्शन इज 0.01, 0.001, 0.017 and 0.125. Correct answer is 0.001. When units of equity mutual funds are sold in the stock exchange, STT is charged at 0.001% of the sale transaction amount. अगला क्वेश्चन है not more than 25% of the net assets will be invested in derivative markets. This statement best describes the dash of the mutual fund scheme. Options हैं investment objective, investment interest, investment strategy or investment policy. Correct answer is investment policy. The investment policy outlines the specific asset allocation, investment style and the limits such as 25% cap on derivative instruments, The investment objective is broader and focuses on the general goals of the scheme. अगला क्वेश्चन है who ensures the compliance of the information contained in the scheme related documents with regulations. Options हैं the sponsors, the asset management company, SEBI, the trustees. Correct answer है the trustees. The trustees are responsible for ensuring compliance with the regulations concerning mutual fund schemes, including reviewing the accuracy of the scheme documents. अगला क्वेश्चन है an existing investor in mutual fund invests rupees 25,000 in ABC schemes direct plan. Calculate the amount that will be the net investment made in the scheme after accounting for transaction charges. Options हैं 24,500, 25,000, 24,750 या फिर 24,800. Correct answer is rupees 25,000. For direct plans, no transaction charges are levied. So the entire rupees 25,000 will be invested in the scheme. अगला क्वेश्चन है which intermediary is responsible for implementation of uniform KYC? Options हैं asset management company, KYC registration agencies, registrar and transfer agents, depository participants. Correct answer is KYC registration agencies. KYC registration agencies, KRAs, are responsible for maintaining the uniform KYC process across mutual fund investments. This is as per the SEBI regulations. Identify the true statement with respect to systematic investment plan, SIP. Options हैं a SIP cannot be done in a new fund offer. A SIP can be done only in an existing folio. A SIP can be done in a closed-ended fund. A SIP can be used to initiate a fresh purchase of mutual funds. Correct answer है a SIP can be used to initiate a fresh purchase of mutual funds. SIP can be used to start a fresh investment in a mutual fund scheme, including during a new fund offer. It can also be used to make additional investments in an existing folio. अगला क्वेश्चन है आइडेंटिफाई विच ऑफ दीज इज नॉट अ फंक्शन ऑफ एसोसिएशन ऑफ म्यूचुअल फंड्स ऑफ इंडिया एम्फी. ऑप्शंस हैं टू रिप्रेजेंट टू द गवर्नमेंट, रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया एंड अदर बॉडीज on all matters relating to the mutual fund industry, to disseminate information on the mutual fund industry and undertake studies and research, to conduct a certification examination for mutual fund distributors, to undertake a nationwide investor awareness program to promote proper understanding of mutual funds. Correct answer is to conduct a certification examination for mutual fund distributors. AMFI is not responsible for conduct certification exams for mutual fund distributors. This is done by National Institute of Securities Markets, NISM. अगला क्वेश्चन है, when the asset allocation is maintained as a constant ratio by regular rebalancing of the portfolio, it is known as dynamic asset allocation, flexible asset allocation, fixed asset allocation, or variable asset allocation. Correct answer है fixed asset allocation. In a fixed asset allocation strategy, the portfolio maintains a specific ratio, 50-50. If market conditions cause the proportion of one asset class to increase or decrease, rebalancing is done to bring the portfolio back to the target ratio. अगला क्वेश्चन है, identify from the following what is not considered a scheme fundamental attribute. Options हैं type of scheme, investment objectives, investment pattern, name of fund manager. Correct answer is name of fund manager. The name of the fund manager is not a fundamental attribute of the scheme. Fundamental attributes include type, investment objective, and pattern, but the fund manager can change without affecting the core structure of the scheme. अगला क्वेश्चन है, the asset management company primarily compensates the mutual fund distributors through commissions, salaries, salary plus commission, या फिर share in AMC's profit. Correct answer is commissions. Mutual fund distributors are primarily compensated through commissions. These can be upfront commissions or trail commissions based on the asset under management. अगला क्वेश्चन है, commodities as an asset class does not include, options हैं art, fibers, spices, energy products. Correct answer is art. Art is not considered a commodity because it is unique, non-standardized, and valued subjectively. In contrast, fibers, spices, and energy products like oil, natural gas are all commodities. The question is, what is the time duration in which SEBI has to approve the scheme-related documents? Options are 7 working days, 3 working days, 14 working days. SEBI does not approve the documents. It gives its observations. Correct answer is SEBI does not approve the documents. It gives its observations. SEBI reviews the scheme documents and provides its observations, which the mutual funds must incorporate. SEBI does not approve or disapprove the documents outright. अगला क्वेश्चन है, the opening of the time stamping machine needs to be documented and reported to sponsors, trustees, SEBI, asset management company. Correct answer is trustees. Any opening of the time stamping machines used for mutual fund transactions, example for repairs or maintenance, must be documented and reported to the trustees to ensure transparency and security. अगला क्वेश्चन है, if one wants to know the general risk factors, then which document should be read? Options हैं fund fact sheet, documents filed with SEBI, key information memorandum, scheme information document. Correct answer है scheme information document. The scheme information document contains detailed information about the scheme, including risk factors specific to the scheme. General risk factors are listed in the risk factors section of the SID. अगला क्वेश्चन है, mutual funds must publish their unaudited accounts once every 6 months. Options हैं on the AMFI website, on the AMC website, on the SEBI website, या फिर in at least 2 English newspapers. Correct answer is on the AMC website. SEBI mandates mutual funds to publish their unaudited accounts on the AMC website, along with an advertisement in at least 1 English daily and 1 regional language newspaper. अगला क्वेश्चन है, an investor is interested in buying some units of a closed-ended mutual fund after the NFO is over. How can he buy the same? Options are, he can buy the units on the stock exchange from market makers appointed by the mutual fund. He can buy the units on the stock exchange from other investors who were allotted units and are interested in selling. He can buy the units from the mutual fund itself when they open the sale at periodic intervals as announced by the fund. चौथा ऑप्शन है, he cannot buy units of a closed-ended fund. आंसर है, he can buy the units on the stock exchange from the other investors who were allotted the units and are interested in selling. Closed-ended funds are listed on the stock exchange after the NFO. Investors can buy the units from other investors who wish to sell their holdings through the stock exchange. आपने यहाँ तक वीडियो देखी, इसका मतलब है कि आपको वीडियो अच्छी लग रही है. अगर वीडियो आपको अच्छी लग रही है तो प्लीज़ हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और इस वीडियो को लाइक करें और वीडियो को शेयर ज़रूर करें. मॉक टेस्ट के लिंक इस वीडियो के आई बटन पर उपलब्ध हैं. What can happen if an investor has an overconfidence bias? Options हैं, he will make careful investment choices. He will make higher risks in his investments. His portfolio will have all good blue chip shares. He will keep the risks low in his investment portfolio. Correct answer is he will take high risks in his investments. Overconfidence bias causes investors to overestimate their abilities or knowledge, leading them to take on higher risks. They may believe they can manage investments better than others, which can result in poor decision making and excessive risk taking. अगला क्वेश्चन है, आइडेंटिफाई द ट्रू स्टेटमेंट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू अनक्लेम्ड डिविडेंड इन म्यूचुअल फंड स्कीम्स. ऑप्शंस हैं, इफ द प्लान इज अ रेगुलर प्लान देन इट इज द डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दैट द इन्वेस्टर क्लेम्स द ड्यूज. It is the sole responsibility of the investor that he/she claims the dues. The asset management company is expected to make a continuous effort to remind the investors through letters to claim their dues. चौथा ऑप्शन है, all of the above are true. Correct answer is the asset management company AMC is expected to make a continuous effort to remind the investors through letters to claim their dues. AMCs are responsible for reminding investors to claim unclaimed dividend through letters. The annual report also highlights the unclaimed amount and the number of affected investors for each scheme. अगला क्वेश्चन है, the expenses which can be charged by an asset management company to a mutual fund scheme are limited by. Options हैं, fund managers, sponsors, investors, SEBI. Correct answer is SEBI. SEBI regulates the expenses and expense ratios that AMCs can charge to a mutual fund scheme. This is done under the SEBI Mutual Fund Regulations Act of 1996. अगला क्वेश्चन है, which type of hybrid fund has least exposure to equity? Options हैं, aggressive hybrid fund, balanced hybrid fund, conservative hybrid fund, arbitrage hybrid fund. Correct answer is conservative hybrid fund. Conservative hybrid funds invest predominantly in debt between 75 to 90%, which limits exposure, which is about 10 to 25% to equity. Balanced hybrid funds have a more even split, while aggressive hybrid funds invest primarily in equity. अगला क्वेश्चन है, the credit rating of a bond migrates from AAA to AA+. Determine what will be the impact of this migration on the market price of the bond. Options हैं, bond price will rise, bond price will fall, no change in the bond price, the price can rise or fall depending on market conditions. Correct answer is bond price will fall. A downgrade in a bond's credit rating from AAA to AA+ indicates increased risk, leading to a decline in its market price as investors demand a higher yield for the added risk. अगला क्वेश्चन है, when compared to open-ended funds, investors in closed-ended funds face a higher level of. Options हैं, credit risk, liquidity risk, market risk, investment risk. Correct answer is liquidity risk. Closed-ended funds are listed on stock exchanges, but they may have lower liquidity, making it harder for investors to buy or sell units at their desired price. In contrast, open-ended funds offer better liquidity. अगला क्वेश्चन है, identify the true statement. Options हैं, retail investors can buy units of gold ETF. Banks as well as mutual funds both offer gold deposit schemes. Gold ETF is a closed-ended fund and so the holdings are not for perpetuity. Options हैं, only statement 1 is true, only statement 2 is true, only statement 3 is true, या फिर all 1, 2 and 3 are true. Correct answer is only statement 1 is true. Gold ETFs can be bought by retail investors. Banks offer gold deposit schemes, not mutual funds. Additionally, gold ETFs are open-ended and not closed-ended. अगला क्वेश्चन है, identify the true statement as per AMFI's code of conduct for intermediaries of mutual funds. Options हैं, intermediaries should rebate some of the commission received by them to the investors. Intermediaries should abstain from making negative statements about any asset management company or scheme. Intermediaries should split applications so that they can earn higher transaction charges. Correct answer है, intermediaries should abstain from making negative statements about any asset management company or scheme. AMFI's code of conduct emphasizes that intermediaries must avoid making negative statements about any AMC or scheme and should ensure comparisons are made with relevant products. अगला क्वेश्चन है, some of the costs incurred by asset management companies to manage the mutual fund schemes can be charged to in proportion of their holdings of the units in the scheme. Options हैं, distributors, stockbrokers, unit holders, independent financial advisors. Correct answer is unit holders. The costs incurred to manage a mutual fund scheme are passed on to the unit holders in proportion to the units that they hold. This includes fund management and operational costs. अगला क्वेश्चन है, the NAV of an equity fund is rupees 76.45 and the face value is rupees 10. An investor invests rupees 30,000. How many units will be allotted to him? There is no entry load. Options हैं 1866.43, 477, 392.41, 3000. Correct answer is 392.41. The number of units allotted is calculated as investment amount divided by NAV. In this case, 30,000 divided by 76.45. अगला क्वेश्चन है, AMFI Code of Ethics states that dash cannot become a distributor of mutual funds. Options हैं banks, HNIs, employees of AMC, impaneled distributors. Correct answer is employees of AMCs. According to the AMFI Code of Ethics, employees of asset management companies cannot become distributors of mutual funds. This is to avoid potential conflict of interest. अगला क्वेश्चन है, the securities transaction tax levied on repurchase of units of debt mutual funds is 0.001%, 0.025%, 0.25%. STT is not applicable. Correct answer is STT is not applicable. STT is not applicable to debt mutual funds. It only applies to equity mutual funds and transactions involving equity shares, whether traded on the stock exchange or redeemed through the fund. अगला क्वेश्चन है, what is negative alpha? Options हैं, it is indicative of outperformance by the fund manager. It is indicative of underperformance by the fund manager. It is indicative of over-hedging by the fund manager. It is indicative of under-hedging by the fund manager. Correct answer is it is indicative of underperformance by the fund manager. Alpha is the difference between the actual return of a fund and its expected return based on risks taken as measured by market index. A negative alpha indicates that the fund has underperformed relative to its benchmark. अगला क्वेश्चन है, on what basis will the payment be made to an investor who claims his erstwhile unclaimed redemption amount within 3 years? Options हैं, the amount will be paid based on the prevailing NAV after adding the income earned on the unclaimed profits. The amount will be paid based on the NAV at the time of original redemption plus income earned on the unclaimed amount. The amount paid will be based on the NAV at the time of original redemption plus income earned on the unclaimed amount and deducting any penalty on the same. एक और ऑप्शन है, the amount paid will be based on the average of the NAV at the time of original redemption and today's NAV after accounting for income earned and penalty if any. Correct answer है, the amount will be paid based on the prevailing NAV after adding income earned on the unclaimed profits. If an investor claims the unclaimed redemption amount within 3 years, the payment is made based on the prevailing NAV, which includes any income earned on the unclaimed amount. अगला क्वेश्चन है, for which of the following funds can NSE's MIBOR be used as benchmark? Options हैं, ELSS fund, liquid fund, 5-year constant maturity GSEC fund या long duration fund. Correct answer है liquid fund. NSE's MIBOR, Mumbai Interbank Offered Rate, is used as a benchmark for liquid funds because these funds invest in short-term money market instruments, which aligns with the nature of MIBOR. अगला क्वेश्चन है, which statement is true with respect to applicability of TDS in the case of capital gains from mutual fund units? Options हैं, there is nil TDS on capital gains in mutual funds for all investors. TDS is required to be deducted at 10% on all declared dividends. All capital gains from mutual fund investments are subject to a TDS at the rate of 10%. TDS is not applicable on capital gains for resident individuals but is applicable for non-resident individuals. Correct answer is TDS is not applicable on capital gains for resident individuals but is applicable for non-resident individuals. TDS is not deducted on capital gains for resident individuals. However, for non-resident investors, TDS at the rate of 10% is applicable on capital gain. अगला क्वेश्चन है, returns from a fund is 11.5% and the risk-free rate is 7%. The standard deviation is 3 and beta is 1.9. What will be the denominator for calculating the Sharpe ratio? Options हैं 4.5, 3, 1.9, 11.5. Correct answer is 3. The Sharpe ratio formula is returns minus risk-free rate divided by standard deviation. The denominator is the standard deviation, which in this case is 3. अगला क्वेश्चन है, investments are carried at dash in a mutual fund portfolio. Options हैं market value, face value, book value, cost value. Correct answer is market value. Mutual fund investments are carried at their market value to reflect the true worth of the unit for transactions like buying, selling and repurchasing. अगला क्वेश्चन है, which information has to be provided by a normal investor to be identified as an existing investor in the mutual fund? Options हैं PAN, PEKRN, folio number, KYC acknowledgement. Correct answer is folio number. An existing investor is identified by their folio number. This number is assigned when they first invest in a mutual fund scheme, and is used for all future transactions with that fund. अगला क्वेश्चन है, आइडेंटिफाई विच स्टेटमेंट इज ट्रू. ऑप्शंस हैं, इन्वेस्टर्स कैन नॉट होल्ड द यूनिट्स ऑफ अ म्यूचुअल फंड इन फ्रैक्शन ऑफ 1 यूनिट. इन्वेस्टर्स कैन होल्ड द यूनिट्स ऑफ अ म्यूचुअल फंड इन फ्रैक्शन ऑफ 1 यूनिट. Investors can hold the units of a mutual fund in market lots of 50 units. Investors can hold the units of a mutual fund in market lots of 100 units. Correct answer है, investors can hold the units of a mutual fund in fraction of 1 unit. Investors can hold fractional units of a mutual fund, especially in case where dividends are reinvested, resulting in fractional unit holdings. अगला question है, a mutual fund has to report the following information of an investor who comes under the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, FATCA. Options हैं, the entire investment value of the folios of the investor, the identity of the account holders, the identity of beneficial holders, or all of the above. Correct answer is all of the above. Under FATCA, mutual funds are required to report detailed information such as the entire investment value of all the folios and the identity of beneficial owners. This helps in compliance with international tax reporting standards. अगला क्वेश्चन है, by mistake the ARN number is wrongly mentioned in the application form. How will such an application be processed? Options हैं, the application will be rejected, it will be returned for rectification, as a direct plan application, as a regular plan provided the error is corrected within a time frame. Correct answer है, as a regular plan provided the error is being corrected within a time frame. If the ARN, agent registration number, is wrongly mentioned, the application is processed as a regular plan. However, if the error is corrected within 30 days, the application can be reprocessed as per the correct plan. अगला क्वेश्चन है, identify the false statements. Authorized signatories have to sign the request for transactions of institutional investors in mutual funds. Even if the memorandum of association and articles of association do not permit investments in mutual funds, the company can invest in mutual funds on the basis of a board resolution. Statement A is false, statement B is false, both statements A and B are false. Correct answer is statement B is false. A company cannot invest in mutual funds unless its memorandum of association and articles of association specifically allow it. A board resolution alone is not sufficient. अगला क्वेश्चन है, commodities as an asset class does not include, options हैं, food crops, industrial materials, gold, real estate. Correct answer is real estate. Real estate is not considered a commodity as it cannot be standardized like food crops, industrial metals or gold. Commodities refer to raw materials or primary agricultural products that can be bought and sold. The new fund offer dates are published in the both key information memorandum and scheme information document. Statement of additional information, key information memorandum, scheme information document. Correct answer is scheme information document. The scheme information document contains detailed information about a mutual fund scheme, including NFO dates, investment objectives, and other key details. अगला क्वेश्चन है, according to guidelines given by SEBI, every mutual fund scheme should have a minimum of dash investors. Options are 10, 20, 25, 50. Correct answer is 20. SEBI mandates that every mutual fund scheme should have a minimum of 20 investors to ensure diversification and avoid risks of concentration in the hands of a few. अगला क्वेश्चन है, in which of these funds is securities transaction tax not charged? Options हैं, fixed maturity plan, equity index ETFs, equity linked saving schemes, blue chip equity funds. Correct answer is fixed maturity plans. STT is not charged on fixed maturity plans as they are closed-ended debt funds, whereas it is applicable to equity funds and equity. अगला क्वेश्चन है, which type of transactions are allowed on a stock exchange platform for mutual fund trading? Options हैं, redemptions, fresh subscription, additional purchases, only B, A, B, C, A, B and C, A and B, B and C. Correct answer is A, B and C. Investors can transact in mutual fund units on the stock exchange platform for fresh subscriptions, additional purchases and redemptions depending on the type of fund. अगला क्वेश्चन है, identify the false statement. Options हैं, when an investor wants to redeem from a scheme, the distributor must suggest redemption from scheme with the maximum exit load. The mutual fund distributors can ignore the impact of exit load at the time of repurchases. Only statement A is false, only statement B is false, both statements A and B are false. Correct answer is both statements A and B are false. Distributors should suggest redemption from the scheme with the minimum exit load and should always consider the impact of exit loads and taxes during repurchases and redemptions. अगला क्वेश्चन है, can the fundamental attributes of a scheme be changed? If yes, how? ऑप्शंस हैं yes but with the consent of 100% of unit holders, yes with the permission of SEBI and AMFI, yes but this should be communicated to unit holders who should be provided an option to exit the scheme, no the fundamental attributes cannot be changed as it is based on these attributes that investors have invested their money. Correct answer is yes, but this should be communicated to unit holders who should be provided an option to exit the scheme. Changes to fundamental attributes can be made, but they must be communicated to the unit holders. They should also be given an option to exit the scheme at the current NAV without incurring any exit load. अगला क्वेश्चन है आइडेंटिफाई द फॉल्स स्टेटमेंट. ऑप्शंस हैं आर्बिट्राज फंड्स इन्वेस्ट इन बोथ फ्यूचर्स ऑप्शंस एंड कैश मार्केट्स. The only objective of an arbitrage fund is to provide capital appreciation. Arbitrage funds have lower risk compared to equity funds. Options हैं only 1, only 2, both 2 and 3, both 1 and 3. Correct answer is only 2. The objective of an arbitrage fund is not to provide capital appreciation, but rather to capitalize on price discrepancies between the cash and futures markets. These funds aim to generate returns similar to debt funds with a lower risk profile compared to equity funds. अगला क्वेश्चन है आइडेंटिफाई द ट्रू स्टेटमेंट. ऑप्शंस हैं द म्यूचुअल फंड इन्वेस्टर हैज द कंप्लीट फ्रीडम to change the distributor anytime he wants. Once an investor had invested through a distributor, he cannot change the distributor. Once an investor had invested by online method, he cannot change the distributor. Once an investor had invested through a distributor, he cannot invest directly with the mutual funds. Correct answer है the mutual fund investor has the complete freedom to change the distributor anytime he wants. Investors are free to change their distributors or choose direct investing, but they need to submit a written request to the mutual fund house. The AMC must comply without requiring a no objection certificate from the existing distributor. The question है which of these statements is true with the respect to cutoff timings? ऑप्शन है कट ऑफ टाइमिंग्स आर प्रिस्क्राइब्ड बाय सेबी फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम. कट ऑफ टाइमिंग्स आर एग्रीड अपॉन बिटवीन द एएमसी एंड द कलेक्शन सेंटर्स. कट ऑफ टाइमिंग्स आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम एएमसी टू एएमसी. कट ऑफ टाइमिंग्स आर डिफरेंट फॉर आरटीएस. करेक्ट आंसर इज कट ऑफ टाइमिंग्स आर प्रिस्क्राइब्ड बाय सेबी फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम. सेबी सेट्स यूनिफॉर्म कट ऑफ टाइमिंग्स फॉर म्यूचुअल फंड ट्रांजैक्शंस to determine the applicable NAV. These timings are standardized across all mutual funds and are not determined by individual AMCs or RTAs. The question is, a mutual fund application form with multiple holders has to be signed by any of the holders, all the holders, only the first holder, only the first two holders. Correct answer is all the holders. All holders in a joint account must sign the mutual fund application form regardless of the mode of holdings. The question is, Mrs. Neeta needs rupees 5 lakhs in 3 years from now. The interest rate is 6%. By which formula can we calculate the amount which is required to be invested today to achieve this goal? आप इस ग्राफिक में ये ऑप्शंस देख सकते हैं. जी हाँ, करेक्ट आंसर इज 5 लाख डिवाइडेड बाय 1.06 रेज़ टू द पावर 3. आप इस ग्राफिक में इस फॉर्मूले का डिटेल एक्सप्लेनेशन देख सकते हैं. अगला क्वेश्चन है समरी ऑफ द स्कीम रिलेटेड इन्फॉर्मेशन डॉक्यूमेंट्स इज फाउंड इन द स्टेटमेंट ऑफ एडिशनल इन्फॉर्मेशन, की इन्फॉर्मेशन मेमोरेंडम, किम, फैक्ट शीट, अडेंडम. करेक्ट आंसर इज की इन्फॉर्मेशन मेमोरेंडम. The key information memorandum in a summary of the scheme information document and statement of additional information. It contains the essential details about a mutual fund scheme in simplified format for the investor. अगला क्वेश्चन है आइडेंटिफाई द ट्रू स्टेटमेंट. ऑप्शंस हैं a systematic transaction cannot be cancelled. Assuming a mutual fund scheme is profitable, the investors can keep encashing some profits through systematic withdrawal plan. Only A is true, only B is true. Both A and B are true. Correct answer is only B is true. A systematic transaction can be cancelled, but systematic withdrawal plans allow investors to encash profits if the mutual fund scheme is profitable. अगला क्वेश्चन है which strategy can be used to ensure that a mutual fund scheme is suitable to the investors' needs and situations? Options हैं indexation, dividend stripping, asset allocation, tax harvesting. Correct answer is asset allocation. Asset allocation involves distributing investments across various asset classes, equity, debt, etc., to align with the investor's financial goals, risk tolerance and time horizon. It is a crucial strategy for ensuring suitability. The question is which of these documents is not required to be submitted by institutional investors while investing in mutual funds? Option है profit and loss statement, PAN card copy, list of authorized signatories, memorandum of association and article of association. Correct answer is profit and loss statement. Institutional investors are not required to submit a profit and loss statement when investing in mutual funds. They need to provide documents like PAN card copy, list of authorized signatories and incorporation documents. अगला क्वेश्चन है for KYC verification Dash is not accepted as a photo identity document for micro SIPs. Options हैं credit card, employee ID card issued by companies registered with the registrar of companies, card issued to national pension system subscribers, photo debit card. Correct answer is credit card. Credit cards are not accepted as photo identity documents for KYC verification, as they may not be backed by bank accounts and do not serve as valid proof of identity in this context. An Indian international fund is investing in US stocks. What would be the impact on it if the US dollar appreciates against Indian rupees? Against Indian rupee. Options हैं no impact on the fund as it's investing in stocks, not currency. NAV of the scheme in Indian rupees will appreciate. The NAV of the scheme in Indian rupees will depreciate. Correct answer is the NAV of the scheme in Indian rupees will appreciate. When an international fund invests in foreign stocks, the returns are affected by both performance of the stocks and the exchange rate. If the US dollar appreciates against the Indian rupee, the value of the investment in INR increases, causing the NAV to appreciate. अगला क्वेश्चन है identify the false statements with respect to benchmarks of mutual fund schemes. Options हैं the right benchmark for a sector fund will be an index representing the respective sector. All equity fund schemes will have similar benchmarks. Only A is false, only B is false, both A and B are false, neither A nor B is false. Correct answer is only B is false. Different equity funds may have different benchmarks based on the type of stocks they invest in. For example, large cap equity funds use indices like Nifty 50 or Sensex, while mid cap or sectoral funds use different relevant indices. अगला क्वेश्चन है which of these mutual fund distributors have to mandatorily go through the due diligence process as mandated by SEBI? Distributors who get investments of over 1 crore in a single mutual fund, distributors who receive commissions of over rupees 50 lakhs from a single mutual fund, distributors who service less than 25 investors, all of the above. Correct answer is distributors who receive commissions of over rupees 50 lakhs from a single mutual fund. SEBI mandates a due diligence process for distributors who either receive rupees 50 lakhs in commissions from a single mutual fund or meet other criteria such as having multiple points of presence or large asset under management. अगला क्वेश्चन है the risk free return of a scheme is 7%, the beta is 1.6 and the actual return is 9%. What is the tenor ratio of the scheme? Options हैं 1.25, 2.5, 1.00074 और 2. करेक्ट आंसर इज 1.25. आप इस ग्राफिक में टेनर रेशियो का फॉर्मूला देख सकते हैं और इस फॉर्मूले से हमने ये आंसर कैसे कैलकुलेट किया है ये भी देख सकते हैं. द क्वेश्चन है आइडेंटिफाई द करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट्स विद रिस्पेक्ट टू इन्वेस्टमेंट्स इन रियल एस्टेट इन्वेस्टमेंट ट्रस्ट्स. REITs are exposed to risks of lower than expected distributions. Distributions by REITs will not be based on the net cash flow available for distribution. Both of the above are correct, none of the above. Correct answer is both of the above are correct. REITs are exposed to various risks, including the risk of lower than expected distributions. Distributions are based on the net cash flows from the properties in the REITs portfolio. अगला क्वेश्चन है what is the difference between a mutual fund scheme's actual return and its optimal return known as? This is also a measure of the fund manager's performance. Options हैं beta, Sharpe, basis, alpha. Correct answer is alpha. Alpha measures the difference between a fund's actual return and the return predicted by its risk level. Positive alpha indicates that the fund manager has outperformed the market, while negative alpha suggests underperformance. अगला क्वेश्चन है identify the category of mutual fund scheme in which net asset value has to be declared for up to 4 decimal points. Options हैं index funds, large cap funds, small cap funds, hybrid funds. Correct answer is index funds. SEBI mandates that the NAV for index funds, liquid funds and other debt funds be declared to 4 decimal points to ensure precision, while equity and balance funds are only required to declare NAV to 2 decimal points. अगला क्वेश्चन है identify which of these statements are correct. When a unit holder gives a request for unit certificate, it has to be issued within 5 working days. When a unit holder gives a repurchase request, the repurchase check has to be dispatched to the unit holders within 10 working days. Both of the above are correct, none of the above. Correct answer is both of the above are correct. According to SEBI regulations, mutual funds are required to issue unit certificates within 5 working days of receiving a request and dispatch repurchase proceeds within 10 working days of the redemption request. Identify the correct statement. Mutual funds can only be purchased on the stock exchange platform and they cannot be sold. All mutual funds purchased on the stock exchange platform have mandatory lock-in period. Stock exchange mutual fund trading platform has become another channel for mutual fund companies to reach out to investors. All of the above. Correct answer is stock exchange mutual fund trading platform has become another channel for mutual fund companies to reach out to investors. Mutual funds can be bought and sold on stock exchange platforms such as NSE and BSE, providing an additional channel for mutual fund transactions besides the regular route through AMCs. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, आइडेंटिफाई द करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. अ म्यूचुअल फंड यूनिट होल्डर कैन अप्रोच द कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ फॉर मैटर विच वॉज फेयरली एंड ट्रांसपेरेंटली स्टेटेड इन स्कीम डॉक्यूमेंट्स बट ही वॉजंट अवेयर ऑफ इट. A mutual fund unit holder can approach the court of law for provision of law which was fairly and transparently stated in the scheme document, but he wasn't aware of it. Both of the above, none of the above. Correct answer is none of the above. The principle of caveat emptor, let the buyer beware, applies in mutual fund investments. Investors are expected to read and understand the scheme document, and they cannot seek legal recourse solely based on lack of awareness of the provision in those documents. Identify the true statement with respect to scheme performance disclosures. AMFI provides mutual fund performance data on its website. SEBI mandates the publication of mutual fund performance data for regulatory compliance. Options हैं, only A is true, only B is true, both A and B are true, both A and B are false. Correct answer is both A and B are true. Both the AMFI website and SEBI mandate the disclosure of mutual fund performance data. AMFI provides this data and SEBI requires its publication as part of regulatory compliance. इन 100 क्वेश्चंस के अलावा अगर आप चैप्टर वाइज NISM मॉक टेस्ट पाना चाहते हैं तो आप आई बटन पे दिए गए लिंक पर क्लिक करके या फिर डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में दिए गए लिंक पर क्लिक कर देख सकते हैं. बहुत जल्द हम आपके लिए लेकर आएंगे इस वीडियो सीरीज का अगला वीडियो. आज ही सब्सक्राइब करें ZFunds शाला. ZFunds, जहां इन्वेस्टमेंट सही और आसान.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.